Okay, so this week we talked about the lymphatic system, and along with that, we learned that there are two categories of the different lines of defenses. First, you have the innate system, which is your first and second line of defense. It acts very quickly to a pathogen, bacteria, virus, anything that our body encounters as a foreign substance. And it involves the macrophages coming and going to work on that foreign object. Then we have the adaptive defense system, which is our third line of defense. It reacts more slowly to the foreign substance, and it has to do with B cells and T cells. And then we kind of wanted to give some examples of each. So your innate system is your like species resistance, where humans can get measles and mumps, but dogs don't necessarily get measles and mumps. It's also your skin, which provides a barrier, so blood doesn't necessarily seep into my skin unless I have an open wound. It's inflammation, so if I get a splinter in my finger, that site's going to swell up from the white blood cells rushing there to deal with the foreign body. It also has to do with fevers, when your body temperature is rising to try to kill off that pathogen that entered your system. And then we do have our adaptive defense system, which is the antigen versus antibody system of the B cells, and then also the immunity cell reaction with the T cells, which takes us into our next part, which is what's the difference. So again, that T cell is the immune cell reaction. They actually act directly against a foreign pathogen or foreign object that our body encounters, whereas the B cells are also known as the humoral reaction, and they produce the antibodies, which then react with the foreign substance. So they act more indirectly as compared to the T cells. And then I do have a little graph here, so let me grab that. Okay, so here is my graph. We are looking at the concentration of antibodies over time. So this is the initial exposure to the non-self substance, and then here is our first response, which is has a low amount of antibodies, which are produced, of course, again by those B cells. And then up here would be like our second exposure. So of course we have a little bit of antibodies there, and because we have those memory cells in the B cells, they're able to produce a lot more antibodies to react with that non-self substance. So it just kind of showing that, first exposure, we didn't really know what was going on. Our body didn't know how to react. It had to learn. But then once that second exposure hits, our body's already done it before, so it's able to be more effective and react more quickly. Okay, and then back to our questions. So if someone confronted me and said that vaccines cause autism, I would explain to them that a vaccine is simply introducing your body to an antigen. The antigen has been killed or is weakened already, so it won't lead to an infection of that particular disease. But that allows your body to be familiar with the foreign substance, to build up antibodies, so if you are exposed again, you're able to react and fight off that illness. And then we also wanted to talk about HIV. So what HIV is a virus that infects the body's T cells. It can actually take over the T cells and replicate, and then it just kind of drowns out all the other T cells and kills them out. Having HIV for a while can lead to AIDS, which then suppresses your immune system and can lead to cancer and other diseases, and it mutates quite often, so it's hard to get a vaccine for that. And then finally, we wanted to talk again about the blood types and why it's important. So if you have a blood donor that has an antigen that matches up with the antibodies that's in the receiver's cells, then those will bind together, causing a blood clot. The receiver will reject that, and it can lead to their death. So that is all of our questions for the lymphatic system this week. Thank you.